Today, we're taking a look at 10 more iPad Pro games with the best graphics. For reference, all games have been played on a 2021 iPad Pro 11-inch 3rd generation. Number 10, we have NBA 2K Mobile. In the previous episode, I showed NBA 2K21 Arcade Edition, but I think it's important to note the free version here, which in some ways might be a little more graphically advanced. For starters, character models for players are higher in detail, with improved motion matching, inverse kinematics, and more noticeable sweat stains on their arms and faces. Fans in the background are also better individually rendered, so they don't look nearly as awkward. 2K Mobile supports other post-processing effects, from anti-aliasing, HDR bloom, and depth of field. Plus, on the 29th of November 2021, 2K updated the game with controller, rumble support, and 120 FPS gameplay on the latest iPad Pro with the M1 chip. NBA 2K Mobile, it is best played on a 2015 iPad Pro 1st Gen 12.9 inch or an iPad Pro from 2017 and later. Number 9 is Forgotten Memories. Forgotten Memories is a hidden console-quality title on the App Store. Its horror aspects are clearly inspired by the likes of Resident Evil and Silent Hills. The production value definitely isn't on par with AAA survival horror games, but for a small developer and a mobile exclusive, it's really impressive what they managed to pull off here. The game supports 60 FPS and some advanced effects, MSAA, anti-aliasing, high dynamic range lighting, bloom, dynamic shadows, mirror reflections, high quality water, aberrated vignette, chromatic aberration, dirt effects, and so on and so on and so on. The biggest downside to the game is that it hasn't been updated for the 2020 and 21 iPad Pros, so it has some performance issues with high settings enabled on the, newest iPad Pros. I'd say the developer will work on an update for this, as they have been good with patches in the past. Forgotten Memories costs $4.99 USD. While the game only requires 1 GB of RAM, it is best played on a 2015 iPad Pro 1st Gen 12.9 inch or an iPad Pro from 2017 and later. Number 8, we have The Gardens Between. Many of you wanted to see The Gardens Between in this episode, and I know why. It's one of, if not the best, puzzle adventure games on the App Store. It was originally released in 2018 for Mac, Windows PC, and console, with the mobile port releasing in May 2019. It was actually, I believe, the first game on iPad to have full keyboard support too, which was awesome at the time. Just like Forgotten Memories, the game isn't optimized for the 2020 and 2021 iPad Pros, but the voxel agents are working on an update for this, which will be coming in the future. The 2018 iPad Pro ran at 80% resolution with 60 FPS, while on the latest iPad Pros, you can expect native resolution and 60 FPS soon. Across all iPad Pros released since 2018, you can also enjoy high-quality reflections, distortion effects, depth textures, stencil rendering, post effects such as grain, bloom, vignette, and dynamic shadows. The Gardens Between costs $4.99 USD. It is supported on all iPad Pros. Number 7 is Marvel Future Revolution. Recently, Marvel Future Revolution won the iPad Game of the Year. It's a massive open-world game featuring your favorite superheroes from the Marvel universe. It has some of the best cinematics for a free mobile game that I've ever seen, with motion capture and decent voice acting too. In fact, the whole game was made in Unreal Engine 4. Now yes, Marvel Future Revolution has auto battle mechanics, which I usually hate, but here you can choose many different attacks on screen on the fly, so it won't feel like it's completely playing itself. The game supports ProMotion or 120 FPS gameplay on the latest iPad Pros too. Marvel Future Revolution only requires 2 GB of RAM, so it's supported on all iPad Pros out there. Number 6, we have World of Demons. World of Demons might have traditional art, but you can't deny it's a pretty game. In a nutshell, World of Demons is about samurai action, and Platinum Games turned that idea into a tale of samurai vs yokai. This one is behind the people that brought you Nier Automata and the hit Bayonetta series. Platinum Games have drawn on a few different traditional art styles. First is Sumi-e, which is an ink wash painting style from China and Japan. This technique involves using monotone and bold brushstrokes. Next is Ukiyo-e, a colourful wood block art design that is used in traditional Japanese art. Both of these artworks have been presented in a hybrid fusion. The 3D environments are very beautiful and unique, and even though the monsters are incredibly grotesque and frightening, they are very well designed. World of Demons is available to Apple Arcade subscribers on the App Store. It is supported on all iPad Pros out there. Number 5 is Wonderbox the Adventure Maker. Wonderbox allows you to make your own levels and creations, and then you can share them with the world so other players can have a go. There is also a campaign mode, which in my opinion features the most polished levels because it's made by the developer. The game was created in Unreal Engine 4, which allows it to have some really impressive, stylized cartoon visuals and effects. Literally every single world or box that you enter is so detailed, from the grass, water, trees, lava, and so on and so forth. The game contains 2 graphics modes too. Performance plays the game at 60 FPS on your iPad Pro, and battery saving will run the game at a locked 30 FPS to conserve battery, but it doesn't lose the details or graphics quality. Wonderbox has full keyboard support on iPad and mouse support during gameplay. Cool. Wonderbox is available to Apple Arcade subscribers on the App Store. It should be supported on all iPad Pros out there. Number 4, we have Farming Simulator 20. In the past, farming simulator games on mobile have been nowhere near the graphical quality of the PC or console versions. While we're still not there yet, Farming Simulator 20 was the biggest improvement yet. For the first time on mobile, players can now explore the world on foot, in first person, and you can change the graphics quality from low up to high. The detail of the machinery and the Northern American environments are vastly improved, but the main issues where the game is still having issues is with shadows, which are sometimes flickering, and the game only runs at 30 FPS. Farming Simulator 20 costs $5.99 USD, and it has some in-app purchases for coins, so keep that in mind. It's best played on iPad Pros, released since 2018. Number 3 is 7 Nights 2. In my opinion, 7 Nights 2 is the best looking free App Store game that I've ever seen. A lot of this could be thanks to the game running on Unreal Engine 4 and being powered by Molten VK over the Metal framework. Molten VK is a Vulkan portability implementation, and this is the first high-end game I've seen on mobile to use this framework. It's not massively filled with pay-to-win elements, and battles can be played manually, and there are heaps of characters and unique abilities to them. The game supports advanced settings from environment effect, anti-aliasing, background blur effect, refraction effect, and glare effect. It also has an FPS cap of 45 to ensure performance is fine after long play sessions. Just note, 7 Nights 2 is very demanding. It's supported on anything from the 2015 iPad Pro 1st Gen 12.9 inch and later, but for the best experience, play it on an iPad Pro released since 2018. Number 2, we have What Remains of Edith Finch. This one won't be for everyone, I get that, because it's a walking simulator where you explore a ginormous house and will discover the backstories of a young woman's family. It's important to note too that the game involves strong themes of depression, suicide, loss, and death. Where it's different from other walking sims is that it has AAA production value from its graphics, animations, and voice acting. Giant Sparrow told me the types of effects and materials shaders used vary from story to story, but some common features are deferred lighting with a combination of baked and real-time lighting, screen space reflections and cube map reflections composited into a reflection environment, screen space ambient occlusion, real-time cascaded shadow mapping, post-process bloom, filmic tone mapping and color grading, motion blur, depth of field, vignette, and chromatic aberration. Anyway, if you're interested, What Remains of Edith Finch costs $4.99 USD. It is supported on iPad Pros released since 2017. Number 1 is Alien Isolation. Alien Isolation is probably the most graphically advanced mobile game to date. Farrell told me on the latest Apple devices, the overall visuals and performance can be higher than Switch, PS4, Xbox One, and in some cases PC. The iOS version has 3 graphics presets: battery saver mode, performance mode for 60 FPS gameplay, and graphics, which will enable 40 FPS on the latest iPad Pros and the best visual quality possible. The iOS version supports most of the desktop post-processing effects too. We're talking film grain, chromatic aberration, TAA, volumetric lighting, planar reflections, depth of field, and new on iOS is CAS. CAS was added to the Switch version, but it's even better here. CAS means all the small signs and symbols in the game are now sharper and easier to read compared to the original console version, and the shimmering and aliasing artifacts have been removed. Isolation also has full controller support with rumble vibration and mouse and keyboard support. Alien Isolation costs $14.99 USD, which is actually significantly cheaper than other platforms. It is supported on the 2015 iPad Pro 1st Gen 12.9 inch or an iPad Pro from 2017 and later. What games do you play on your iPad Pro? Do you think I missed a game on this list? Let me know in the comments. I know many of you will be expecting more from these devices, and I am too. It's just that honestly, there are not many high-end games out there to show. I'll be sure to keep producing these videos as more release. Anyway, leave a like if you enjoyed this video and subscribe and turn on notifications to stay up to date with everything Apple gaming related. My name is Stewie and thanks for watching.